Several times a second, right now, the lights go out, and something splices the film so smoothly you'll swear it never happened. You walk through your day assuming your vision is a continuous video stream, a flawless, high-definition recording. You believe your eyes are always open, always drinking in the world without interruption. You believe the present is exactly what you are experiencing right now. You are wrong. The truth is much darker. Literally, you are blind for roughly 40 minutes of every single waking day. That fast, that simple. 40 minutes. Gone. Not blurry, not out of focus, not in the periphery of your vision. Completely, utterly, terrifyingly blind. A total absence of visual information, and you have absolutely no idea it is happening. That is the genius of the machine. Your brain is actively hiding the footage from you. It is running a real-time cover-up. A deception so massive it redefines what it means to be awake. It deletes the missing time and stitches your consciousness over the gaps. Welcome to the saccadic cover-up. Let's prove it right now. The next time you are in a bathroom, lean in close to the mirror. Stare directly into your own left pupil. Now, shift your gaze sharply to your right pupil. Shift it back. Left, right, left, right. Do it as many times as you want. You will never, ever see your own eyes move. You cannot catch them in transit. A friend standing next to you will clearly see them darting back and forth. A smartphone camera will record the rapid, twitchy movement. But to you, your reflection remains completely still. A solid, unwavering stare. You are entirely blind to your own motion. It is a ghost in the machine. Here is why it happens. Your eyes are not smooth, cinematic cameras gliding on a track. They are erratic, jerky sensors, mounted on a highly unstable biological tripod. To map out a room, your eyes must dart violently from point to point. These rapid darts are called saccades. They happen 3 to 4 times every single second. Every second of your waking life. They are among the fastest movements produced by the human body. But there is a massive problem with moving that fast. If your brain processed the raw, unfiltered visual data during a saccade, you would break. Your world would be a sickening, chaotic smear. You would be constantly dizzy. Vertigo would be your baseline state. You would be violently nauseous just from looking around a kitchen. The motion blur would render life completely unlivable. So the brain found a brutal, elegant workaround. It simply cuts the feed. The moment your eye begins to move, your visual cortex shuts down. The lights are turned off. The signal is severed. You are plunged into temporary, total blindness. And the very microsecond your eye stops moving, the lights are flicked back on. Saccadic masking, a neurological censorship program operating inside your skull every second of the day. But cutting the feed creates a new problem. A cut leaves a gap. A cut leaves a black frame. If your brain just turned off the lights, you would see a strobe light effect all day long. A relentless, maddening flicker as you looked around the world. You don't see a flicker. Why? Because your brain doesn't just cut the film, it rewrites time to hide the evidence. This brings us to a phenomenon known as the chronostasis glitch. You have experienced this glitch thousands of times in your life. You just didn't know what you were looking at. Picture an old analog clock on a quiet wall. You turn your head abruptly to check the time. Your eyes snap to the clock face. And for just a fraction of a heartbeat, the second hand seems to hang. The first second you look at it lasts slightly longer than the next one. It freezes. It feels like the clock has stopped, just for a moment before resuming its relentless tick. This is the stopped clock illusion, and it is a literal tear in the fabric of your perception. Here's exactly what happened in that suspended moment. As your eyes darted toward the clock, your brain killed the video feed. Blindness. When your eyes finally landed on the target, the brain captured the new image, the crisp image of the stationary clock, but there was a gap of darkness preceding it in your visual memory, a void that needed to be filled. So, your brain took that fresh image of the clock and dragged it backward in time. It pasted the stationary clock over the gap where the motion blur was supposed to be. It filled the dead air with a counterfeit reality. It lied to you. You did not actually see that clock for that entire extended second. Your brain just altered your short-term memory to convince you that you did. You retroactively perceived something that you were physically blind for. You lived in the past, entirely convinced it was the present. This is the terrifying brilliance of the mind. It prefers a seamless lie over a disjointed truth, and it performs this time-travel-paced job constantly. Welcome to the stitching room. This isn't just a quirky parlor trick for mirrors or analog clocks. It is the fundamental operating system of your life. It is happening right now as you scan across this very room. It happens when you drive down a busy highway, darting your eyes between mirrors. It happens when you watch a tennis match. When you read a book, jumping aggressively from word to word. Thousands of times an hour, you go blind. And thousands of times an hour, a silent editor in a dark room fixes it in post-production. This editor takes the fragmented, jarring clips of your reality and splices them together. It smooths the cuts. It color corrects the gaps. It perfectly matches the audio to the slightly delayed video. It manufactures the illusion of a continuous, unbroken present. That seamlessness you feel? It is not a natural property of the universe. It is a highly manufactured product. An artificial construct built specifically for an audience of one, you. This forces an uncomfortable existential turn. You think of your consciousness as a clear window looking out onto the world, a pane of glass between you and reality. It is not a window, it is a screen. You are not watching a live broadcast of reality. You are watching a heavily doctored, tightly edited tape playing on a slight delay. You are never actually touching the absolute razor edge of the present moment. The present is already gone by the time the editor clears it for broadcast. You are always half a step behind, locked in a retroactive simulation, generated entirely by your own nervous system. Every seamless moment is a cover-up. Every continuous thought is stitched over a void. It sounds terrifying. It sounds like a loss of control, but look deeper. Look at the craftsmanship of the illusion. The world outside your skull is terrifyingly fast. It is a storm of chaotic light, dizzying motion, and overwhelming, punishing data. If you experienced it raw, you would break. Your mind would fracture under the sheer violence of unfiltered reality. But you don't break, because the editor refuses to let you. Look at the sheer, unrelenting effort it takes to keep you steady. Every second of every day, this silent mechanism is working to protect you. It takes the jagged, broken pieces of time and sews them into a perfect, unbroken line. It hides the cuts. It swallows the darkness. It builds you a quiet, stable, predictable room to live inside. The illusion of a seamless reality might be a lie, but it is a beautiful lie. It is an act of profound, biological grace. It is the only reason you can walk down a busy street without collapsing from vertigo. It is the only reason you can look into someone's eyes and feel truly present. It is the foundation of your sanity. You are constantly being taken care of by a part of yourself you will never meet, a protector working tirelessly in the pitch black, sweeping up the lost minutes of your life, making sure the floor never drops out from under you. So, the next time you glance at a clock, the next time you catch that second hand hanging just a fraction too long in the air, don't brush it off, don't ignore the glitch, recognize it for what it is. It is the seam in the fabric, the single tiny crack where the magic trick reveals itself. Pause, take a breath, and smile. It's just the editor, working overtime, making sure your show goes on.
Probably.